Activate the secondaries. Go, 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 go. Up, 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 up. What's up, guys? My name is Con, and we're back today in Scrap Mechanic, and I'm really excited because this is a build that it kind of took a long time, and I know a bunch of people were asking for it, and I'm sorry it took me so long. This is a build that actually started in a stream, and it was pretty good, and it started as a military hovercraft, but over the course of building it, I changed just about everything. The build in the stream, it was okay, but there were some elements that were missing. I didn't really like the way the fans looked. I didn't really like, to be honest, the fact that the way some of the buildings looked, and I kind of went and changed everything. And of course, I made some military vehicles to go with it. So in behind here, we've got the extremely large military hovercraft, and we'll get to that in a bit. But first, we're going to check out these 4 Humvees. Now, they are all on identical frames. I built one originally, and if you can guess which one in the comments down below, I will let you try and figure it out. But I've got 4 variations of basically the same vehicle, but each one is painted 100% unique, so they have their own sort of... I thought it was kind of like a Special Forces type camo. I guess it's kind of like a winter camo, maybe? I don't know. But anyways, it's some sort of kind of camouflage. I think it looks pretty slick. But we've got 4 different Humvees here. So first off, we've got the truck style of Humvee. So pretty simple stuff. You know, you can get in there. There are switches for the doors, but I put them underneath, you can see. And the switch for the tailgate under the back here. I just found the switches on the side of the vehicle kind of ruin the look for it. But really simple vehicles, not much to them. I mean, it drives pretty standard. It's very stable. They're solid concrete, very heavy things. And they've got, you know, enough engine power to sort of conquer some rocks. So you've got the really simple truck type, and then of course, my personal favorite style of Humvee, the box type with the box on the back. So same deal. I put split doors. I know it's probably a trunk that actually opens and closes, but I just like the look of the split doors. I don't know, whatever. But same deal, Humvee style of vehicle. It's got that nice lifted front end on it. Looks really clean. And then of course the slope back. I don't really know what it's actually called, but I'm gonna call it the slope back. I really like this style too. Originally I had these all painted tan and kind of desert painted, and then I'm like, wait, why would you have a hovercraft in the desert? And so I decided, you know what, we're gonna paint these with some sort of camouflage, because I've never really done camouflage before. And really, it's not as bad as I thought. All you have to do is just base coat it one color, and then just kind of click like crazy all over the vehicle, and then do your details afterwards. But the split back, and then of course oh yeah, and the trunk opens on this one too there. Oh, it's supposed to open. You know what, you place a block and everything. See, look, it fixes itself. Anyways, right, trunk opens, pretty cool stuff. But my personal favorite Humvee out of all the 4, I mean, it's definitely got the most features, that for sure, in this one. This is the ultimate super awesome. You have a trunk, but the trunk has been replaced with circuitry and motors to run the super awesome rotating minigun cannon. So you got 2 and 3 to rotate left and right, 4 and 5 tilted up and down, and then of course 6 to let loose that awesome minigun sound. So I think for that I use a bass drum, but if someone's got a better gun sound, let me know. I really tried, but I couldn't find a gun sound that really was suitable. Yeah, in the passenger seat, it has full gun controls as well. And so both the driver and the passenger can control the gun, kind of like that DC-3 plane from a while ago with the dual control system. The gun has the dual controls as well, so you can sit here and just, you know, shoot the gun as the passenger, or if you're playing by yourself and you want to, you know, drive it solo, then you can do that as well. But pretty cool vehicle, obviously the Humvee. But the coolest thing has got to be this military hovercraft. It floats like most normal hovercraft. You can see the spider web there. It's got all sorts of stuff. You can see there we've got room for 4 vehicles. Now, in this video, I'm not going to load up all 4. You might have seen all 4 in the thumbnail, but you can't actually load up all 4 without getting... With one vehicle, you get about 60 FPS. Maybe you'll drop to 50 at points. With 2, it tanks to about 20, and then with 3, you're down to like 10, and with 4, you're down to like 3. So it's impossible to play with all 4 vehicles, but it is set up for all 4 vehicles. So the biggest change compared to the hovercraft in the stream, obviously these fan blades. These things are wicked. I saw the picture and I realized in the stream I never made anything kind of like this, and I really should have. And it's got, you know, the dual front and back dual bearing there, so it has 2 electric motors that drive it front and back off the WASD converter. And then of course it's got fins now. Instead of the whole blade rotating, these fins go left and right, just to kind of, with controllers there, just to sort of show the turning. And the WASD converter changed as well. The WASD converter before was a much more compact one. I started playing around with suspension and I found this kind of ratio and setup works really well, very consistent. It's very, very glitch free. You have the engine set on 4 ticks with suspension on 2 on a four long bar here. So you can see this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the bearing itself. So that seems to work pretty decently. It worked well for me. And then of course the steering just with a simple sensor. But all this stuff feeds into the circuitry down below, and the circuitry down below is really where it's all at. Real hovercraft, or real military hovercraft, they kind of deflate the whole front section, and it kind of sags the front down, I notice. And I'm like, well, I can't really deflate blocks in scrap mechanics, so best we could do here is have this sort of, you know, hinge mechanism, and I think it kind of does the job. But you can see there we are hovering, in fact, very, very low off the ground. But this is in the default position. You have the vehicle off. When you turn on the 1 switch, that's where you get that nice low hover going on, and you can drive like this using WASD. You will occasionally touch the ground, but it is super stable vehicle. It turns a little bit slow, but it gets going pretty quick. But of course, sometimes you'll come across obstacles and scrap mechanic, rocks, that sort of thing. So you just activate 2, and that activates the higher hover method. And now, of course, you're hovering 10 blocks above the ground, and oh, I'm gonna smash into him. Oh, well, you know what? We're gonna flip him over, but that's okay, because we'll just, yeah, it's fine. We'll just keep going like a boss. But now it hovers at a height of 10. So not really meant to clear vehicles like that, but more meant to clear bigger rocks and that sort of thing. But overall, really, really cool mechanism. It actually uses 4 sensors in each corner. So it's hovering at a height of 10 right now, but there's also a backup sensor set to a height of 9. So if it does happen to dip in one of the corners, it will pick itself up a little bit more. And then the same sense when you go to the lower hovering height, it will do the same thing. So you see these 4 sensors, and they are wired up with these AND gates to all the sets of thrusters. So basically, depending on what mode you've selected, you'll be running on either the inside sensors or the outside sensors. And one is the backup that's set to 1 distance below, and one is the primary. So it works out quite well. And then you can see we've got all these forward thrust here, hooked to the WASD converter, and then these thrusters on the side, which I forgot to paint. How do I always forget to paint something? There's always something where it's like, oh, you forget to paint it. One of the biggest problems with hovercraft is handling the weight of other vehicles, and usually you run into issues with that where the vehicle will start to sag your hovercraft in certain corners. And I was really thinking about that, and I thought, you know, that's going to be a huge problem, especially if people want to download this and put their own military vehicles on it rather than just, you know, my silly Humvees. So I thought of a way to do that. When you bring a vehicle up onto it like this, and let's say I go to this back spot here, and we'll just park on top of that sensor. Now, if I go to this front room, you'll see that it tells me that the back left pad has a vehicle on it. These are 3 sets of backup thrusters that I can choose to activate. So I know my Humvees weigh the equivalent of 1 set of backup thrusters. It's 4 thrusters on max power. And as long as you're close enough, the thrusters in the hovercraft itself, the sensors and the backups that it have, will keep the whole thing afloat. So I come in here and I go, okay, I have a Humvee on that pad, so I'm gonna activate it. I didn't make any sort of arms to grab the tires or anything like that, because I figure people are gonna have such weird shaped vehicles, and it's gonna be impossible to make something that's universal for everyone. So, you know, you just chalk your wheels there, keep it on top of the sensor, and now if we go underneath the hovercraft, still set to this low hovering mode. I don't know if we can, oh yeah, we can get under the back here. Perfect. So you can see there, these 4 thrusters are now activated, and if we activated one of those other switches, we would get these other ones as well. And you'll notice the back is tipped up a little bit. That's because when the front ramp is extended down, the weight of all this concrete kind of dips it forward, which is actually good. So we can just hit this switch here, bring that ramp back up, and now we are good to go. So I really hope at some point in time Scrap Mechanic fixes this. Oh god, activate the secondaries. Go, 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 go. Up, 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 up. Oh god, we skimmed that rock. Oh, perfect. Oh, perfect. Survive. Alright, drop off the secondaries, go back down to the primaries. But you can see there, it is very, very stable. It is obviously very large, but it does ride relatively smooth over the terrain. As the hovercraft slowed down here, we can get into this secondary seat here, and this, of course, does control that gun there on the far side. We can see left and right. So we go 3, 4, tip up and down, 1 and 2 tip left and right, and then 5. And we can, you know, just have that extra turret, mainly an anti-air turret. You know, if you have to take out anybody, you've got that capability there. It's got so many sets of backup thrusters. I mean, you could make it fly if we were to go here and activate too many of these, we could in fact make the whole thing fly. So if you covered up all these sensors as well. So it does work on that sensor system. So if you do drive the vehicle off, for example, you can see those 4 thrusters are activated right now. But let's say we go here and lower the ramp. We'll just do that. And we'll remove the wheel chocks on the back. Like so. And for freedom, awesome. So you can see there the thrusters instantly, as soon as we drove off that platform, they shut off, and that prevents the hovercraft from flying out of the way uncontrollably. So really just an awesome system, and once Scrap Mechanic the game can support, you know, 4 vehicles on top of 1, this is going to be an awesome hovercraft. I do plan on uploading all 4 of these vehicles to the workshop plus the hovercraft. I am going to upload them all as separate entities. I wish I could upload all 4 of them with it and attach to it, but even if you weld the 4 Humvees to the hovercraft, it still lags out like crazy. So definitely something that's going to happen in the future when they improve the game, but hopefully you guys can appreciate what it is. And still download the other Humvees, play around with them. There's a lot of fun. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys like this video. If you do like this video, make sure you hit that like button down below. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. That helps me out so much. I really appreciate all you guys' support, of course. Make sure if you guys have any suggestions for other builds, you post those in the comments down below. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all next time.